Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More Toma Vina Ke Dayalo Jagata Sangsare Toma Vina Ke Dayalo Jagata Sangsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaibea Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Bala Kana Koro Ami Bodo Dukhi Daya Koro Sitapati Advaita Goshai Tava Kripa Vale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Haha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Vata Yoga Shri Jivaha Prabhu Lokanatha Daya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas. Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Toya Koro More. Toma vina ke dayalo jagata sansare. Toma vina ke dayalo jagata sansare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. 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 Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. 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 Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. 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 Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we are continuing reading in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. However, today we will not continue in our regular sequence because, as you saw, today we are celebrating Panihati. So we can read from Chaitanya Charitamrita about Panihati. And also today is Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan's disappearance day. Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan is a very important teacher in our tradition. Verstehst du Englisch? No. Yeah? Very good. And so we would also like to briefly speak about Baladev Vidyabhushan. Satyadev, kannst du mir eine englische Bhagavad Gita geben? Yes, thank you. In our tradition we have different books which explain to us who is God. So we believe that there is a person who is the absolute truth. There are some traditions that say the absolute is impersonal, that we have been created from either nothing or some spiritual light, which is just like a total energy, and somehow or other we have come out of this. But in our tradition, we believe that the absolute, the cause of our causes, is a person. So, like you have a father, your father has a father, this father has a father, he has a father, he has a father. If you go on like this, you will end up with a person. What do you think about this?
With this person?
About this concept of the absolute, that the absolute is a person from whom we are eventually created. Beautiful, huh? Yes. We also believe it's very beautiful because we are actually, if we observe ourselves in our life, we are looking for love, and love can only be found in a personal relationship. Not with the impersonal. I cannot have a relationship with this pillar or with this. I have a relationship with this chair now. I'm sitting on it. But how much can I engage? So we are looking for love, we are looking for relationship. And that's why God, He has created us in order so that we can experience love, experience happiness through love, loving exchange. So that's our tradition, our understanding, and because now at the moment we cannot see God, there is many different books that give us information who God is, what He does, how He looks like, where He lives. The Bhagavad Gita is our very foundational book. And then we have the Srimad Bhagavatam, which we were studying yesterday, and this is the Chaitanya Charitamrita, one edition. And this is actually a very advanced subject matter of God consciousness. So in this book you have a very basic understanding, just to convince those who are not yet sure that God exists. And then Srimad Bhagavatam elaborates, but this one actually explains what it means to be someone who truly believes in God and has a relationship with Him. So what we are hearing today will be advanced subject matter, but I'm sure even for Stefan and Arno, you will get something out of it. Yesterday we went to this home program, and this was like a big festival probably for some of you. And we have many festivals in our tradition. It's in one of our books it is said, in the spiritual world, every step is a dance and every word is a song. Meaning the spiritual world is very blissful. We also sometimes experience this kind of bliss in this world when we go to the nightclub. But there we have to take intoxication in order to come to this state. But in the spiritual world, not only is this naturally the fact, you don't have to take any intoxication to come into the mood of dancing and singing, but it's in every second like that, because they are so happy, they are always so blissful. And this Panihati festival, which today the whole altar is dedicated to this festival, was actually supposed to be observed on, or should be observed next week, on Wednesday. Huh? Strange. In my calendar it doesn't show. Last Wednesday or coming?
19th of June. Wednesday. Coming Wednesday.
Ah, it's because I have Indian calendar, so there it's on Thursday. So we are kind of celebrating in advance, because on Wednesday not many will be here, and so today all the guests who come on Sunday, they will get the benefit. Hare Krishna. So this story is described in this book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Antya Lila chapter. This Antya Lila is the third part, chapter 6. The chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya meets Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami is that person you could see in the picture on the left-hand side. So he's, especially on this day, we put his picture, because this festival is very much connected to him, and actually he organized the festival in a way. Raghunathas Goswami was a very pious person who grew up in Bengal, in India, in a rich family of landlords. So in India, still nowadays, there is people, they own a lot of land. And simply by their land owning, they can maintain themselves. And not only maintain themselves, but they are very wealthy people. So just the other day there was one Mataji, she was helping in the kitchen, she's from India, and she was talking about her family in India and her brother, who is a very pious person, and she was mentioning he's a very good astrologer. So I asked, oh, so he's earning he's working as an astrologer, and she said, actually no, he doesn't have to work, he has a lot of land, but just as his hobby he's doing this. So in India, right, there is many still nowadays landlords, and so they will rent the land to different people, and just by collecting taxes they will live. And so the family of Raghunathas, they were landlords, and he was very wealthy, and he had so many good qualities. Raghunathas, he was very beautiful, he was very intelligent, and he was very religious. And he was fortunate that in a very young age he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Did you already understand who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yes? Can you explain, Stefan?
I misunderstood.
You misunderstood, okay. So you don't know. Do you know? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, you saw on the altar we have a right and left hand part. On the left you see two forms. The one on the right is Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we believe in one God, right? What I said, if you go in the chain, the father of your father of your father, if everybody would do that in this world, you would come to one person. However, this one person, he expands himself in different forms. Who has seen the movie Avatar? Avatar? You know this movie? So this, when God, he expands himself, this is called Avatar. And we also nowadays, when I have school classes and we come here, I always explain them with this avatar. I ask them what means avatar, and they will say, yeah, when I play video games I can choose my form. So that's what it actually means. God is choosing his form. He can choose any form he likes, and he can manifest simultaneously in different places at the same time. So Krishna, how he is described as the original person, he also manifests as Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's the same person in a different form. And this Raghunathas Goswami, he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was a young boy. When Mahaprabhu, he was on his way to Vrindavan from Puri, he stopped in Shantipur. In Shantipur there was one very good friend and devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and so Mahaprabhu stopped in this house, and many people were invited, also the family of Raghunathas Goswami. And Raghunathas Goswami was a small boy, and he saw Mahaprabhu there. And because of him being so pure, he immediately felt the desire to surrender to him. So he decided in his heart that I want to dedicate my life to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I want to serve him. But because of his situation, being in his family, he's a young boy, he's still situated in his family life, he couldn't practically do it, meaning he had to go home to his family. But actually his desire was to stay with the Lord and serve him full time. And it's described here in Chaitanya Charitamrita how Raghunathas Goswami, he grew up and everything was provided to him. He got a good education and eventually he got married. And here it is said, by his own mother, it is said, that his wife is beautiful like an angel. It was described, his wife was extremely beautiful. you can imagine if somebody is wealthy in India, it meant that marriages were arranged, meaning the parents would choose a wife for the son or a husband for the daughter. And if you are wealthy, then your catalog is bigger. No, you can choose whatever you like. And so they could choose the most qualified and beautiful daughter for him, and he was married. But Raghunath Das Goswami, he lost all his interest in materialistic life, even though he was so nicely situated. He was living like a king, having servants, having a lot of property, have a lot of wealth, being very famous in society. But he didn't feel any pleasure in this. And we can understand by this small example why people dedicate their life to God, or what it means to be God conscious. It means that you have a relationship with someone who is so wonderful that you don't care a fig, as Srila Prabhupada would say, you don't care a fig about anything in this material world. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Shochati Nakangshati, that when one actually comes to the platform of devotional service, being a devotee of God, then he doesn't care about anything in this material world. Prabhupada says, there is nothing I can gain, nothing I can lose. So even you can win the whole world, you're not interested if you're God conscious. And even if the whole world spits in your face, you don't care. That's how it is described, because you're so satisfied in your relationship with God that you don't have anything to win and you don't have anything to lose. And that is the sublime platform of God consciousness. And that's why we are here. We're trying to come to that stage where we will not have any sorrow and fear and problems in our life anymore, but we are completely happy in all circumstances. And in our scriptures we find many examples of devotees who are in very difficult positions. They are suffering like anything externally, but they don't care. They don't mind, because they are inside in their heart, they are always remembering their relationship with God, with Krishna, who is so beautiful. And on the other hand, you find many examples of very elevated personalities who are kings, and for example, many kings, we have these stories. And they have so much opulence in their life, but in 1 second they can just drop it like stool and go to the forest and just focus on. And actually they're waiting for that opportunity, that they can just leave everything behind and go and just spend time with God. There's one example of one king, was that Kulashekar, who he was such a powerful devotee that even though he was a king and he had to take care of the whole state, the whole kingdom, but he was always using his free time to worship the Lord. And in one instance, he was doing his morning puja, and somebody came to knock on, and it was actually agreed that nobody would disturb him in his morning puja. That was his time with Krishna. But somebody in that time, kingdoms would be attacked by other kings. And so when he was doing the puja, somebody came to knock on his door and said, "My dear king, such and such king is attacking with his army. We have to go and fight." And this king was so absorbed in his worship of God that he said, "I'm worshipping the Lord, this can wait." And he continued his puja. And when he finished his puja, I don't know the details, but I can give you the gist of the story. He finished his puja, and then the people, they came and were glorifying him, said, "Thank you, King, you are the greatest, you fought so well in this fight today. And he said, what do you mean? I was not fighting. I was doing my puja. I was doing my worship. And they said, how you say you were? We saw you on the battlefield. You were fighting like a lion, killing all the enemies. And then he understood that Krishna came to do his work because he was so absorbed in his service.
And he's going to heal himself.
Please, I don't know the part.
I don't know it properly, but I heard. And then he understands all these warriors, they have liberation. They back to Godhead because Krishna and they have darshan of Krishna, and I am so unfortunately, and he take a knife and want to kill himself, but somebody some black hand, and he saw this hand, it's hand of Krishna, and he lost his consciousness.
And which king was it?
I don't know. I just heard this.
I didn't know this part. So many beautiful examples how this relationship between Krishna and his devotees is manifested. And we should hear about this. This will actually, what will happen, our desire for our relationship with Krishna will grow by hearing about these examples. Imagine somebody loves you so much to do these kind of things for you. That's actually what we are looking for. And on the same way, we want to love someone so much that we would give our life. Then life is actually worthwhile. Nowadays, people, they don't have any... Srila Prabhupada said, dedicated life is a noble life. You heard that? Dedicated life is a noble life. Nowadays, nobody is dedicated anymore to nothing. Everybody wants to be free. I don't want to dedicate myself to a person. I don't want to dedicate myself to my duty. I don't want to dedicate myself to a place and a group of people. I just want to be free and enjoy myself. And what's the result? Nobody's happy. Because we are just hovering around on the gross platform of sense gratification. We're just looking for the nice sensation, that's all. But we are not getting this deep experience in the heart of dedication, of love. What to speak of love? Just of, proper relationship, proper dedication to something noble. And we can see in today's world, we have everything. We never had so much in history of human society, at least in the last hundreds of years, thousands of years. Never was that time where we were so comfortable, but people are suffering like anything. And we should understand why, because this is not the solution. This is not going to make us happy. So Raghunath Das Goswami, in a similar way, he was so advanced that even though he was situated in this very opulent position, he was not interested in it. And he was so almost averse to that life, on the other hand so attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he tried to escape home. But his parents, they wanted him to stay and continue their legacy. No, if I have a big kingdom, then I also want somebody to continue their kingdom. And he knew that, but because he didn't want to do it, he always tried to escape. So it's described here that in the middle of the night he would get up and run away. And his father, by waking up early in the morning, he would see that Raghunath is not here. He would send his soldiers all around, and they would find him and bring him back. In one instance, when they found him and brought him back, then his father was telling his wife, this Raghunath is so attracted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he is running away all the time, so we have to put him into, we have to bind him. And that's when his mother said, he's enjoying like King Indra, and he has a wife like an angel. So if this is not tying him down, then how will a rope tie him down? This will not. And then she said, actually, he's lost. I mean, lost. They were also pious, but he's lost in the sense that he got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he will not continue in this materialistic life. He already knows too much. He understood too much. And Raghunath Das Goswami tried for many times to run away, and where he wanted to go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was in Puri. Puri was some hundreds of kilometers south of the place where he was living. And he would always escape, and his goal was to walk, and not only walk, but run to Puri. Many, many kilometers. And one time he escaped, and he knew that Nityananda Prabhu is the person on the left next to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu is the eternal brother of Krishna. So he knew that Nityananda Prabhu is there in Panihati, which was close to his home, and he went to this place Panihati. And Nityananda Prabhu at that time, he was sitting on an elevated seat, and many of his associates were there. And when Raghunath Das Goswami came, at that time he was not called Goswami, Raghunath came, he offered his obeisances, and Nityananda Prabhu immediately saw him, and he asked his associates, who is this person? So they told him, this is Raghunath. And Nityananda Prabhu is quite an interesting personality. He yelled at him, Raghunath, you thief, come here, I have to punish you. Raghunath, he didn't go, he felt shy. And so Nityananda kind of forcibly asked him to come. And when he came, Raghunath again offered his obeisances, and Nityananda Prabhu just put his feet on Raghunath's head, and he chastised him, you are a thief, you are a thief, now I will punish you, now I will punish you. Why did he punish him? Why was he a thief? Yes.
Because he wanted to see or be with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without going to Nityananda Prabhu, going to connection. So it was not possible.
Why does he have to go to Nityananda if he wants to go to Gauranga?
Because Nityananda Prabhu is the Jagat Guru and the initiate, like the first spiritual master, the topmost spiritual master, and we can only attain Radha and Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through our spiritual master. We cannot go by ourselves.
Right, yes. We are trying to build up a relationship with Krishna, with God. But how is it possible to build up a relationship with someone directly who is very high? Can you just walk into the Bundesrat's home and say, now I'm here, please sit down, let us talk? No, you have to call the secretary, and the secretary will call the second secretary, and he will call another person, and this person will ask another one, and then eventually it will come to him. And maybe we'll say, I don't have time, I'm busy. And who is this person anyway? Tell him to speak to somebody else. And in the similar way, if we want to meet God, we want to establish this relationship, we have to go through his servants. And Nityananda, he is the first expansion of God, and he's also God, but his function as God is that he is responsible for all the service. Of course, Srimati Radharani is also there. She's another expansion. But Nityananda, he's the, Prabhupada calls him the servitorhood. God had something like this. Sevyak Bhagavan. That's why we have to go through him. And in a similar way, we, in that tradition, we accept the spiritual master. A person, a living person, we accept as our teacher, as our master, as our authority. And we accept him full-heartedly, meaning we fully depend on him. That, okay, I want to have a relationship with Krishna. Now I found the person who already has a relationship. I surrender to him and I become his servant. Yesterday we heard from King Prataparudra when we were at the home prayer. What kind of desire did he have? After Mahaprabhu blessed him, he said, I want to be the servant of your servant. So that's the best position. If we are always the servant of Krishna, then we always connected to Krishna. And that's why Nityananda Prabhu was so upset and he wanted to punish him. And what was the punishment? He said, now you have to organize a big festival. I want you to go and buy nice foodstuffs and you feed all my devotees. And not only all my devotees, but all the brahmanas and all the people here. Of course, luckily he's told that to Raghunath Das Goswami, not to a devotee like Haridas Thakur, who is a rather poor, materially poor. But Raghunath had so much money that he, immediately when he got this order, he was looking for you say vendors, those who sell fruits, and he organized a feast with dahi, which is yogurt. Now we are making dahi in the kitchen. Actually, we should offer this dahi today. That would be nice. Dahi is, we have yogurt here, which is yogurt, but in India they have dahi, which is a little bit different. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shishi Gaur Nitai ki jai. So dahi is this yogurt which is kind of a little bit thicker. And so he bought dahi, he bought chida. Chida is chipped rice. And he bought a lot of fruits and milk and sweet rice, actually thickened milk, condensed milk. And he started to prepare different dishes. These are sweet dishes. And now the Lord is enjoying that chida dahi. And that's the name of this festival, Chida Dahi Mahotsava. And later on, we can relish the prasadam of Chida Dahi. And it's described that there were unlimited people started to manifest. And there was no space. In India, there is this place still. Who has been in Paniyati? Devashri, of course. Please go there. There is a ISKCON temple, just few meters from the actual spot where it happened. And it's right next to the Ganga. And you can go there and get blessings. And so Raghunath Das Goswami and the devotees, they started to serve everyone. And of course Nityananda Prabhu. And at some point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was not in that place, so-called physically, but he was so attracted by this festival that he appeared. And only a few devotees could see, and I think Nityananda then started to feed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, maybe I will, if you want to have the full exact details, you can read it. I gave you the chapter 6, Antya Lila. So it was a wonderful festival. We might think, these Hare Krishnas are strange people, they're making such a big thing out of such a yogurt festival. But because it's a very esoteric meaning behind, that by Raghunath Das, he's pleasing Nityananda, he's pleasing all the devotees, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased, he appears and he attains the shelter. And Nityananda actually blesses him after this festival and he tells him, now you will attain the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu and you will live with him and you will be taken care of Swarup Damodar, which is another very close devotee. And that's what eventually happened. Raghunath Das, he became an inhabitant of Jagannath Puri and he became a renunciate, and in our tradition he's the one who showed the highest level of renunciation. He was he had a simple lifestyle. He would never cook for himself or something to this effect. Actually, he would only, in the beginning he would beg food on the street, but at some point he even found that this was too impudent, kind of, that who am I to ask for food on the street? So then he went a step further, and next to this temple in Puri, big temple, you can go there, I mean outside, not inside, there is a big pile of prasadam leftovers. People eat, but then they will throw their plates, and there is always some rice and food, and he would take the rice of this place and wash it, dry it, and then eat this. So he was very, very renounced, because he didn't feel like he needs this kind of opulence. Even though he grew up in opulent life, he was fully satisfied in his Krishna consciousness and he just maintained his body. Later on, when he was in Vrindavan, he was only drinking a small cup of buttermilk every other day. So not even every day, and not even food, but just a little bit buttermilk. That's how he maintained himself. Another example that when we hear, we can develop faith. We have to believe that this is true, it's not just some fairy tale, but we can develop faith that if a person can live in this way by being God conscious, then there must be something really amazing about this. Otherwise nobody can live like this, it's impossible. So that's the story of Raghunath Das Goswami, and today we pray to him and Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we also understand that teaching, that we have to take full shelter of our spiritual master, and we cannot just steal the property of Nityananda Prabhu. We have to ask him for permission. Then, just to also speak briefly about Baladev Vidyabhushan. The Bhagavad Gita is a really important book. It's the most distributed book of Srila Prabhupada, and there is many different editions, but that's Srila Prabhupada's edition. And if you open this book, in the very beginning, Srila Prabhupada writes to Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, who presented so nicely the Govinda Bhashya commentary on Vedanta philosophy. And today is the disappearance day, meaning when we say disappearance day, and we don't say the death of a person who is holy, because these personalities is like the sun. The sun appears and disappears. But Baladev Vidyabhushan is still existing. Like the sun, when the sun goes down, the sun is still existing, we just cannot see the sun. So Baladev Vidyabhushan, he disappeared on this day in 1768. So that's little less than 300 years ago. Srila Prabhupada dedicated the Bhagavad Gita to him. That tells a lot what kind of personality Baladev Vidyabhushan was. We have a lot of history about these great personalities. However, Baladev Vidyabhushan, we don't have so much. Usually we, like Raghunath Das, we know the name of the father, the mother, where he lived, what he did over all his life, but Baladev Vidyabhushan, we don't know where he actually took birth, where he grew up, or the names of his parents. But what is described is that he grew up in a family of farmers, and they assume he grew up close to Remuna, which is in the state of Orissa in India. And as a young boy, he left home and he became a traveling mendicant, a monk. And he came to Udupi. And he became a sannyasi in the Madhvacharya line. He took sannyas. And he became a very great, powerful devotee, scholar. He learned the whole philosophy. And one time, he was traveling as a sannyasi, he came to Puri. Puri was where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived. And in Puri, because Mahaprabhu was there some years before, there was still now if you go, Mahaprabhu is very present, and certainly much more at that time. So he met devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And especially he met one devotee, his name is Radha Govinda Maharaj Swami or Babaji. And this Radha Govinda was a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, initiated in that line, and he started to preach to Baladev Vidyabhushan about, at that time he was not known as Vidyabhushan, Baladev, whatever. And he started to preach about the special teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which are very similar to what he had already learned, but slightly different. I'm not going to go into detail, but there's a slight difference in the teaching. And it's not that he said, your teaching is wrong, but he said, here is something which you didn't hear yet about the absolute truth. And Baladev was so impressed that he accepted. And he took initiation from Radha Govinda. And Radha Govinda started to teach him about Mahaprabhu's doctrine. And at some point, when he could see that he was impressed, this personality so intelligent, he picks up everything so quickly, and he realizes, not only he understands, but he realizes it, that Radha Govinda decided, you should go to Vrindavan. And he went to Vrindavan, and he became a disciple of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he started to learn scripture from him. And what I read is especially Vishwanath Chakravarti taught him about the Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, which is this very specific aspect in our philosophy, which is different from others. Vishwanath Chakravarti was the leader of the Vaishnava society at that time. After Mahaprabhu left, we have a succession of teachers, and there is always one who is considered to be the leader of all teachers. There's many teachers, but one will be always very clear that he's the leader among all the teachers. And at that time, Vishwanath Chakravarti was the foremost teacher, and Baladev learned with him. And in Vrindavan is close to Delhi. That's the place where Krishna lived 5,000 years ago, so it's one of the holiest places in our tradition. Close by there is a place called Jaipur. Jaipur is in another state, Rajasthan, and it's also a very religious place. And what happened in Jaipur is that there was another sect, the Sri Sampradaya, followers of Ramanuja. They also worship Vishnu, in a way they worship Krishna, but in a slightly different way. You will learn all of this if you stick around. And they went to the king and they complained that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, means those who follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they didn't write any commentary on the Vedanta. Vedanta is the most philosophically important scripture in India, especially at that time. And every authorized school needs a commentary to this scripture. Then, if they see, okay, they make a comment, and the comment is also valid, then they will accept, okay, they're bona fide. And they went to the king, and the king was also a Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava. And they complained that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they don't have a commentary, so they are not bona fide. And the king, being a Gaudiya Vaishnava, was very disturbed. He thought, what can we do? And he sent a message to Vrindavan, to Vishwanath Chakravarti, telling him the whole story, what's going on, and telling him that our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition is threatened. Please come. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very old at that time. He couldn't move anymore physically. The journey from Vrindavan to Jaipur, at that time, of course, much longer, but how long is it? Like 150 kilometers? Something like this. So at that time it would take long, and if you're old you cannot do it. So he sent Baladev to go to Jaipur. And Baladev went to the king, and they organized a meeting with the Sri Sampradaya scholars, and they had a debate, philosophical debate. And Baladev was so powerful that he could refute them immediately in all their arguments. And he defeated them, not defeated them, but he established in a way that what they know or what they do is bona fide. But still, these Sri Sampradayas, they pointed out that you don't have a commentary. And he said, we have Srimad Bhagavatam. This is our commentary. And they said, we don't accept Srimad Bhagavatam. And Baladev, he was so sad about this that he told on the spot, we have a commentary and I will show it to you. And at that point, they couldn't say anything anymore. So they were quiet, and then it was settled that, okay, we will have a meeting in a few days. And Baladev went, and in Jaipur there is one deity. No, we worship deities. We believe that God, he can come and actually manifest in a form. And there is many deities, and God can be present in all these deities because he's unlimited. There is one deity, Govinda Dev, Govindaji. And he was initially in Vrindavan, but due to some political reasons he came to Jaipur. And this deity was worshipped by many of these inhabitants of Jaipur. And Baladev went to this deity and he prayed. He said, I have a problem. I just told in the court that we have a commentary on the Vedanta, but we don't have, and I'm in big trouble. He went to sleep, and in the night Govinda Dev appeared and told him, don't worry, you will write the commentary and I will dictate everything to you. He woke up and he was so enthused, he knew that now there is no problem. He washed himself, he sat down and started to write, and Govinda dictated everything to him. And this became the commentary of the Vaishnavas to the Vedanta Sutta, and after a few days he finished and he went to the court, and this became established, everybody accepted. And then what's interesting, these Ramanuja disciples, meaning the followers, they were so impressed by him that they wanted to accept him as a guru. But Baladev said, no, because you are also bona fide. What you are doing is right. You should continue. But now you know that what we are doing is also correct. It's bona fide. And this became the commentary, and he called this commentary, as it is mentioned here. Who presented so nicely the Govinda Bhashya. Bhashya means a commentary, and Govinda, because he wrote also then one verse in the beginning of the book saying that this Bhashya has been written by Govinda Dev. He told me everything in a dream. No, he said he appeared to me in a dream and then he dictated everything to me. And that's how great is Baladev. And then they gave him the title Vidyabhushan. Vidyabhushan means somebody who is very learned, a big scholar. And he returned to Vrindavan, and of course all the Vaishnavas were in bliss. They made another festival, Haribol. And from that time there was no problem anymore. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas were accepted and established. So we're hearing about very nice personalities today. We can always, when we hear, we actually get this desire in the heart to become a nice devotee, to follow in the footsteps. And today we can pray to these personalities for blessings. They are not gone, they are still here, and they hear our prayers if we are very humbly and sincerely praying to them, and they can bless us so much, unlimitedly. So thank you for your attention, and thank you for being here with us, Stefan and Arno. It's very nice. So if maybe since it's Sunday, if there is any question or comment, then we can use the time. Yes, Prabhu.
Raghunath Swami always want to run away from house. So, but Lord Chaitanya say stay at home and continue your activity. But what is changed? What has changed? When it's time become, he can go. What he have, some quality, or what he accept to run away from?
Yeah.
What
Why all of a sudden it worked?
Yeah.
Of course, one thing is we have to understand that building up a relationship with Krishna it never goes in a straight line. Like if you fall in love with someone, if you go to the movies and you watch a romantic movie, will it be straight line? It will always be very turbulent. Meaning the boy falls in love with like Romeo and Juliet. So much drama. And that's the nature of love. Love means there is obstacles, and yesterday we heard also King Prataparudra that like the gopis, there were so many obstacles for him to meet Mahaprabhu. And that's actually what makes it more intense. Even if you fall in love on the mundane level, imagine you just look at somebody, you like that person, and now you're together, everything's fine. It will not create that feelings in your heart. There has to be some drama. So that's one way we have to always understand. We have to understand in our life that there will be so many difficulties and obstacles, but we have to remember that Krishna is giving me a chance to prove that I love him. And in fact, we have to be clear that what we're trying to achieve means that we don't care, like I said before, even if the whole world spits in our face. That's actually where we have to come eventually. Because that's the mood of the gopis. They don't care. They don't care about their husbands, they don't care about the children, they don't care about the parents, they don't care about anyone. They just want Krishna. And that's what we try to achieve. So naturally, we also have to have the same consciousness eventually. And this will not happen overnight, but this will be cultivated over lifetimes. Over lifetimes, like we heard also yesterday, Prataparudra, over lifetimes he was a devotee. And then eventually he came to a point where he really got a very special kind of mercy. But your question, what was different? I think what we said that another point we have to understand, these things happen between liberated souls to teach us, and in this case it teaches us that we cannot attain God directly, but we have to go through someone who has God already in his heart. And that's what comes out in the story, that Raghunath Das wanted to just run directly to Mahaprabhu, but then Nityananda Prabhu reminded him that you're trying to take something which is actually my property, and I decide if you can have it or not. And then how did he get it? By pleasing Nityananda and his devotees. And we can learn that we have to please the devotees and the spiritual master. That should be our main focus in life. Neophyte devotee means I'm doing the service, everybody step aside, I'm the best, I'm doing the nicest arati, I'm the best cook, I'm the best lecturer, I'm the best kirtaniya, I'm the best. Hare Krishna. And because I'm so good, I have a relationship with Krishna, I should do everything and everybody else should step to the back, aside. And now that I'm here worshipping the Lord, everything is fine. I don't care about anyone else. It's neophyte. But the mood of an advanced and especially of a Gaudiya Vaishnava devotee is that I'm not a devotee, but I will try to please my Lord by helping others to serve Him. And I want to please them because they are so dear to the Lord. See, and just a note to that. We said how we try to understand God. No? And in some way this can be so simple, no? Oh, God, and then we understand who He is. But to really understand who God is and how to interact with Him. What, yesterday we also heard, God, we are trying to be Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness means, okay, I'm conscious how Krishna looks, what He does, etc. But eventually, Krishna consciousness means I'm conscious of how Krishna is conscious. What is His consciousness? What, you know, if I like you, I would like to know what you think, what you feel. Then I become close, I come close to you. So in a similar way, when I want to really be Krishna conscious, I want to love God, I want to know what is in His heart, how is He feeling, what is He thinking. And that's the actual meaning of Krishna consciousness, that I become conscious of Krishna's feelings, of His consciousness, and I start to act according to this. I don't know how I ended up here, but so there is different points. No, that we serve the devotees, we have to go to the spiritual master, and maybe somebody else has another point. But when I heard this pastime, I repeatedly heard this point also, that the spiritual master Nityananda Prabhu, and it's practical for us. We have our spiritual masters, we have devotees around us. So we can shift our attention to pleasing them, serving them, and in this way we will please the Lord. We can make an experiment. Okay, let me try to put my main focus now on the devotees and the spiritual master. Let's see what will happen in my Krishna consciousness. Let me move away from my egocentric devotional service and let me try to become a servant of the devotees. And we can try it out and see what happens to our spiritual life. Maybe Krishna will reveal Himself more. At least theoretically that should happen, because He likes that so much that He will feel obliged to reveal Himself. So thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a nice Sunday program. I'm actually leaving after the breakfast, so I'll come back on Tuesday. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vancha Kalpa Kripa Sindhu Deva Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
state of feedback in this whole existence. Do you want to have it to ask?
Yeah, I asked that again.
Was verständlich? Ja, steht da.
She made on the version. But you can check on that.
Yeah.
Erstens habe ich in der Schule gelernt, als Schüler war ich
Check what? Yes, was
Austauschschüler.
Dann verstehst du perfekt.
Kein Problem.
Das ist natürlich ein Vorteil, aber das spreche ich nicht viel Englisch.
Ich habe dann auch, also aus der Ferienjob, also weil ich gedacht habe, ich kann nicht länger bleiben. Dann haben die Familie, die Kinder dazu nach Familie.
Ja.
Dann haben 7 Kinder gehabt. Die waren schon erwachsen. Ich war Schüler, aber die Kinder waren schon erwachsen.
Bei der
Englische Familie. Dann habe ich gesagt, ich würde gerne länger bleiben. Aber ich brauche einen Ferienjob, dann kann ich länger bleiben. Und dann habe ich gesagt, das ist kein Problem, du hast einen Ferienjob. Und dann habe ich mit 17 einen Ferienjob gemacht in England,
this point,
in einer Fabrik, wo Essen eingefroren wird, Honig eingefroren und da habe ich Englisch gelernt. Und in anderen Arbeiten. Nightshift und so weiter. Unvorstellbar. Die Bundesstraße und die Wohnung richtig einzuführen, das wissen wir. Aber mit 17 1977 oder so.
But he already become our
Dann war keine Saison, man hat keine Wohnung gegeben, habe ich gesagt, das ist kein Problem, gibt es einen anderen Ferienjob. Da habe ich also einen Ferienarbeiterjob.
But he not so long time lived with.
No,
Das war dann
and
mal
then,
als,
I think Japan
auch als Service eigentlich, das Putzer, Geschirr sauber, Geschirr zurücklegen. Aber das ist auch lustig, weil die Bevölkerung kennengelernt, die englischen Urlauber kennengelernt, die anderen englischen Arbeiter.
with some they came and denounced immediately accepted.
Das war
Some
der erste
sent back
Schritt
to
in die Welt.
life and said experience and then
Englisch gesagt.
Ja,
Das war der Problem war, er war so schlecht in Englisch, er will
at
einfach
first had to
kein
taste
Sechser
it
gehabt,
and
haben
not
die Eltern
like
gesagt, so geht's
But
nicht.
he already
Das
is
war
fine.
der Englische.
Yeah, but I think it's nice to be like maybe he wants to
Ferien oder nächstes Jahr, da war es so schön. Nächstes Jahr wieder
yeah,
da.
yeah, that's the thing. So he had to go through the experiences and then renounce it.
and because I think maybe it's test like
Da bin ich dann schon alleine gefahren, am Anfang war es noch mit der
say
Technik.
okay,
Ein Jahr später habe ich gesagt, das heißt, ich muss jetzt nicht allein fahren.
say no,
Ja, zu der Ordnung
maybe
zufahren, weil mit der Fähre fahren, aber das ist kein Problem.
Yeah, that's also one
Aber
consideration.
dann war ich dann so müde
But
und
even
ich
in the
habe dann
verse it
die
says that
Endhaltestelle, also die
when
Stelle,
you have said that how
die war ja eingeschlafen, die Losnacht, gell, die war am Anfang ist, ja, wo willst du hin? Also, ja, eigentlich muss ich nach Losnacht, ja, da wissen wir Bescheid.
from
Also, ja, gut, danke, gell.
sometimes
Und dann bin ich tatsächlich eingeschlafen. Dann habe ich gesagt, hey, du musst doch
they show this example,
jetzt raus,
you know, you
oh,
need to back to your family, make you duty, and inside you need to cultivate that this devotion to Krishna. But what I saw, sometimes they give this instruction, devotees back to this karmi family, and they finish this Krishna consciousness because they don't have association. They say you need to do your duty, do your job, care about all, and they spend all time for this and forget about Krishna consciousness.
Because if you see example of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, was serving in that Sarada, you know, as
we
they
go
were
check.
not
Okay. So, I mean, throughout his life, through different personalities,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
and then we also have to learn that one fits its own level. Every in spiritual life, all our capacities are customized, and the guidance of this is customized. So you're gonna have to say,
So what to do without guidance?
nothing. So you need guidance. That's the most of fun at the end of
Yes.
it. Yeah. But it's quite interesting, huh? The nature and reading that these very, very little details are very significant. Because there's an inner meaning to everything. It's mind blowing.
cut, it be more
They want to cut it, I don't know how to.
symmetrical, or maybe like this. It's
Yeah.
okay. But actually, it's like this, and better to cut it because from one side it's here is nothing.
Yeah, I don't know who made this.
No, I think it's lost from yesterday.
Ah.
Yeah. Maybe
It's not sliding down. I don't know what the vision was behind this. You found
What?
the missing piece of it?
No, it's I think from yesterday. I think Pujaris without this.
No, it's fresh, Khan. Yesterday.
Where?